To the surprise, shock, and bewilderment of a great many people, especially here on YouTube, the federal government figured out some way to kick the can down the road to right before Thanksgiving. Those of you that woke up to the news that a continuing resolution had been passed and the president had already signed it, it's going to happen just that fast. You see, right before Thanksgiving, everybody going into the holidays, nobody's going to be paying attention to when this comes all back around again. And it'll be the end of the year, and everybody's going to want to go home. And after a very rough year, people are going to want nothing but good news. So nobody's going to care when they finally decide to hand off control of this country and its financial future to the barbarians. Make no mistake, this is going to happen while most people are either watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or football or something of that nature. Now, real quick, we get into this in detail over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel earlier today. The vast majority of videos, hundreds and hundreds of videos, are at the $1 level. This particular one is for the $5 folks. There's a lot of them over there, and every so often I'm going to take some time out and do a video just for you guys, because if you guys are going to step up to that level, I can put forth the effort too. I always want to live a life of gratitude. I'm thankful for all of you, every one of you, those of you showing up here, those of you doing everything you can do. God bless every single one of you. I ask every day for folks to pray for each other and pray for me. God knows I need it. I'll pray for you to lift each other up. It's important that we do this. Now, if you'd like to join us over there, there's some really great perks. You can be over there for 90 days, twice as long as the government has kicked the can down the road to. At this point, it would be to the end of the year. And if it's not for you, fully refundable. First 90 days, no questions asked. Partnering with Vimeo, we can take the gloves off. We can tell the truth. We can say things and show things we couldn't get away with here. So I just always want to lead off and let everyone know how much I appreciate all of you, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, I appreciate every one of you who are here. Now, I know this is going to rub some folks the wrong way, but man, who heard Donald Trump speaking to the auto workers in Michigan? Bernie Sanders would have been proud. He would have been beaming with joy. Florida Maquis, what are you talking about? Bernie Sanders, socialism, what? I don't know who would have been prouder. Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders? Because if you want to listen to this now, I'm not going to play 1 second of this, because the last time I played a video on this channel of this guy talking, I got kicked off YouTube for a week. So you can find this Trump Live. Trump addresses United Auto Workers in Clinton, Michigan, at the Trump Michigan rally. And he talks about immediately installing, if he gets reelected, protectionism across the board and broad tariffs on everybody who we're competing with. Now, for those of you that don't know, that was an Obama-Biden staple. This is CNBC from way back in 2018. A tariff destroys more job than it creates, says former Obama economic advisor. See, he was actually against Obama doing this. Obama got tough on China. This has been a classic anti-free trade tactic. Now, those of you that don't think this, Trump's 45% tariffs, try Obama's 10,000% on the tires, the Chinese tires. Here's a picture from a long time ago. This has been a long argument running for probably a couple hundred years at least, maybe longer. These are the people that are for tariffs. It's the idea of the pro-union people. You know, everybody's got plenty to feed, plenty to eat, good food, and wages are high, and everybody can afford everything. Tariff reform, prosperity and happiness, free trade, unemployment and misery. That means basically the idea of laissez-faire economics. The idea of charging as much as you can possibly get away with and paying as little as you can get away with. That's free trade. That's capitalism 101. And here's the opposite side of that argument for those of you that are capitalists. See, here's the free trade shop over to the left for those who can afford it. You got all these different choices and, you know, some things are more expensive, but some things are better. Some things are less expensive. It just really depends on what you're looking for. But boy, everybody's happy to be there. Now, here's the protectionist shop over here. They've got a limited supply and everything is really, really expensive. See, over here, bacon is 7 cents a pound. Over here, it's 10 cents a pound. Some things are the same, some things aren't. But there's fewer things available. It's just one of these arguments that's been going on. And Mr. Trump, if you listen to what he said, listen to Bernie Sanders talk about socialism and tariffs on China. This goes way, way, way back. And you can read this on protectionism. In fact, if you go to, where is it? Free trade is a trade policy that does not restrict imports or exports. In government, free trade is predominantly advocated by political parties. Free trade is advocated by political parties who hold economically liberal, meaning laissez-faire economics, while economic nationalists and left-wing political parties generally support protectionism. Protectionism is the opposite of free trade. Protectionism is the opposite of free trade. Now, those of you out there that have an issue with my channel talking about this kind of stuff and this kind of stuff, well, guess what? Capitalism has spoken, and it has spoken loudly with this particular website, with this issue. See, the allegation that I'm making here is that we are much farther down the road of collapse than people think we are. You see, because of a website like this, you're not going to see throngs of ladies on the street at night desperate for money. And there's a story here in Florida that proves it. I'm going to show you actual facts from something that happened here in Orlando to prove this. And if you don't like the images, we'll look straight at just charts and graphs. Year over year. 2018, nobody had even heard of OnlyFans in 2018. Nobody even heard of it. It was valued in less than $1 billion. And in 4 short years, maybe 5, it is now $17 billion. Next year, it's going to be over $20 billion in valuation in 5 years. I mean, this is like cryptocurrency boom level. If you had put money, if it was it's not publicly traded. One guy owns it in Ukraine, by the way. Earnings. 2018, all the way down here, less than 500 million now. Or I guess about 100 billion in earnings. Now 500 billion. Last chart. 2018. Way down here. Way down here. Less than $1 billion. Now, in revenue, $2.5 billion. A year. This is capitalism speaking. See, the argument that I'm making, and I'll apologize for this. I will say this is my fault. I'll accept ownership of this. What I'm saying is that this isn't about morality. This is about financial desperation. What I'm saying is that people are much more desperately in need of cash than what is being reflected in the news or in the job markets or anything else. This has been my allegation for a long time. And you can go back to 2 months ago. 107,000 views, Patriot Nurse. One of her thumbnails, people are broke. The real reason people are homeless, broke, and shackled in debt. That's from 2 months ago. You see, you can talk about the reasons why. Just like the old Highway 101 song. All the reasons why don't matter. What's the reality on the ground of what people have to do? Now, what happened here in Florida? Well, 2 years running. We talked about this just about this time last year. They do this big sweep in Orlando, city of 4 or 5 million people. And they go out and they basically set themselves up, the police officers, as part of the flesh trade, for lack of a better term. And they get people arrested and busted, and they come out and they make this big, huge, fired up deal of it. And this is Grady Judd, and he's very eloquent when he's talking about this. But 45-minute press conference, and he spends this inordinate amount of time talking about this one guy, this one coach who picked the wrong night. Guy had no criminal record whatsoever, never had done anything wrong in his life, 50 years old, got busted, looking for a prostitute, family man. It's a horrible story. But the story he doesn't talk about, which he didn't talk about last year, was this. See over here on the right, everything in the pink? These were all of the women that were busted looking to make $1. Over on the left, these are all the guys that were looking to spend $1. Let's just put it that way. Now, here's the funny story about this, because this is how they have, it's called the framing effect. You see, for a long time, people have said, look, prostitution, come on, it is a victimless crime. You've got Joe, who's lonely, and he's got some extra money. And you've got Jane, and she needs a few extra bucks. What happens between people behind closed doors? It's a capitalist society, free markets. Well, you see, they had to reframe everything. People being forced to do it against their will. And so they changed the laws that if you just allege you are a victim of human trafficking, meaning you're being forced to do it against your will, you don't have to show proof of this. Let me be very clear. You don't have to show one iota of real proof. All you have to do is allege that somebody was making you do it. And they will reduce and or drop all of your charges while they're pending, quote unquote, pending investigation. But during that time, during that pending investigation time, they're going to come and run this story out, which is what the sheriff of Grady Judd did. We picked up 23 victims of human trafficking. Alleged victims that they themselves were alleging with zero proof that this was the case. Now, 23 out of 100 and I believe it's 120 something looking to offer, as opposed to 75 or 80 that we're seeking. This is a sea change, an absolute huge sea change in this particular area of quote unquote criminality. You see, this is the hilarious part about this. Let's go back to this image. Hold on. The ratio on this website is 75 guys looking to look at pictures for every girl out there with pictures. 75 to 1. But the increase right now, 50% increase year over year, girls looking to sell pictures, but only 24% guys looking to look at pictures. Let's just look at that, put it that way. But here, in the real world, people looking to commit, looking to actually make the money, bring the money in, exceed the amount of people who have the extra money to spend. This is the huge story here that points to something. Now, here's where things get a little bit weird. AI to the rescue. AI to the rescue. How could AI rescue anything? Well, believe it or not, there are guys out there that are doing the mental math in their heads. You see this, wrong one. Hold on. Here we go. Grady Judd described this guy, this coach, this family man, as having marshmallows for brains for being out in the real world looking for this kind of way to pass the time, I guess. And fair enough. But you see a lot of guys out there don't have marshmallows for brains. Like, if I could stay home, privacy my own home, and I can get an AI girlfriend, it's riskless. And believe it or not, I just picked up the image off the website. Create your own AI girlfriend. Your virtual girlfriends are just a few clicks away. Talk to artificial intelligence girlfriends and receive personalized content on demand that exceeds your wildest whatever. Now think about that for just 1 minute. never having to deal with actual real people in public ever again. Ask anybody who's ever worked in a restaurant and done the math. Ask anybody who's ever gone out there and worked in the service industries, whether it was driving for Uber or Lyft or waiting tables or bartending or baristas or whoever. It's only going to be a matter of time before you get the wrong person on the wrong day and you piss somebody off and they get you on camera and you say the wrong thing and you're going to be put on blast for 1 million people and it's going to ruin your life. I mean, forget the 10 or 100 or 150,000 customers you've served over the last years and years and years. It's going to take one. It's going to take one time of doing one dumb thing with everybody having a camera in their hand. And look at this guy. No criminal record. I'm not excusing what the guy did, but no criminal record. Guy was a coach. Guy was a community leader. Made one mistake, one night. And now here, Fox 35 Orlando, almost 1 million views in 3 days. Everybody's going to know who this guy is. But all these people, nobody's going to know who these people are. You'd be right next to him in a Walmart and you'd never even know. You'd never even know. But this guy, everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to know who this guy is. And this is the real issue with sometimes what I have with what this guy does with this. He takes things and he puts them in a certain context, in a certain light that is politically framed. And he thinks people don't see it. So, just saying. I mean, isn't what's going on now a capitalist's paradise? I want folks to think about this for just 1 minute. What's the big problem happening in the real world right now? Wages are not keeping up with the cost of things. Wages are low. Costs of things are high. Imagine that from a business owner's point of view. What a wonderful paradigm. I can charge whatever the hell I want for my goods and services. I can jack up the price way beyond what it was before, and I can just blame Bidenomics. But I don't have to give my people any pay raises. Why? Nobody else is. Nobody else is. I can say, I can't afford it. Oh, that Biden, gosh damn him. Son of a bet, pardon my language there. Do you see the point? This is a capitalist paradise. Revenue, way high. Outgo for wages, really low. Because that's the reality. Groceries, you can't afford them on the money you're making. See, business owners can jack up the price and just blame Biden. That's all I got to do. Blame the economy, blame Biden. And real quick, right here at the end, I wanted to ask guys something. If I've got any musical folks out there, there's a song out there called All the Reasons Why by Highway 101. And I was having a discussion with a friend about the time signature of this song. We have a bit of a debate going back and forth. If there's any music people out there, go listen to this song. It's really easy to find. Highway 101, All the Reasons Why is the name of the song. What is the time signature? It's an easy song to sing. It's an easy song to play, but figuring out the time signature is a bit of a mystery. So, at least for me, maybe I'm just having a mental block. So I just want to save that, but it's coming. And when it comes, believe me, it's going to happen very quickly. It's going to happen and people are going to be like, wow, how did that happen? So I will leave it there, but God bless all of you. Thank you so much. I very, very much appreciate it. Every day, you guys that show up here, whether you agree or not, whether you're signed up here at YouTube, signed up at Patreon, doing what you can do, it makes a huge, huge difference in my life. More so than what you know. I wish I could explain a lot more about what's going on right now on YouTube. There is something called automated channels that works with AI, and it is crushing all platforms. Rumble, bitch, all of them. It's crushing them, and it's AI related. So I will leave it there. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.